Hey there, it's Vicki Howell here to show you how to do the blooming shell stitch that is called for in our Block Builder Club blooming garter block, but it's a really great stitch to add a little sort of head turning pow to any kind of project. It would be great in a blanket or for a cardigan or a scarf. We've worked it in two colors here, but it's also really impactful in one color, and that's what I'm going to show you right now. So this stitch is worked over 5 stitches, so over these next 5, and part of it is worked 5 rows down. So we're working in garter stitch, as I mentioned, and how we tell where 5 rows down is that every bump that you see, or ridge rather, is 2 rows. And you can see if you look closer, what makes up the ridge is these 2 rows. You can see right here, there's a little stitch, and there's a little stitch, those rows. So to work the stitch, we're going to go 3 stitches over, 1, 2, 3, but then 5 rows down. So we've got our 2, 2, 4, this would be 6, so we'll go right there, it's 5. Then we're going to yarn over and we're going to draw through a long loop, and you want to make sure that it's long enough that it'll be sort of the equivalent height of where all the rest of your stitches are laying. Okay, so then we're going to knit 1. Then we're going to insert our needle in the exact same hole that we did to begin with and pull up another long loop. All right, so now we're going to repeat that process 4 more times. So knit 1, insert the needle, pull up a long loop. So that's 1, knit 1. That's 2. And make sure that you give it a little sort of tug every time to make sure that you're getting the loops up tight so you don't warp your fabric. Knit 1. Again, diving in that same hole. That's 3. Knit 1. And that is that. So that's the whole shell. So you'll have 6 loops, and then you've got the stitches where we worked over 5 stitches, so 5 regular stitches beneath. So it's fully loaded. So that's actually what it takes to create that whole long shell. But I'm going to show you how you sort of get it back to where you began on the back side of the row. Okay, so I'm going to show you how on the back of I showed you already on the front how to create the shell, and that really is the entirety of the stitch. But I'm also going to show you how we revert back to the same amount of stitches we had before we start, so that you don't have this piece that's slowly getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So we are going to work a series of decreases, but you'll notice if you look a little bit closer how some of these long loops splay to the right and some to the left. And that is achieved by working 2 different decreases. So we're going to start with 3 sets of purl 2 together through the back loop. So we've got our yarn move to the front rather. If we were working purl 2 together, we'd go through the front loops here, but we're working through the back loop. So that means that we kind of have to flip our piece over a bit and purl those. Make sure I only got 2. I think I might have gotten 3. Make sure you only get 2. All right, so you're inserting. Oh, I know what I did. There you go. And then we purl 2 together, pull those back off. Okay, so we're going to do that twice more. So we make sure that we only have our 2 loops. Purl 2 together, and that's twisting it so it will splay the way we want to. I'm going to go to the next one. Okay, so that's the first half of them. Now we want to move over to 3 sets of just regular purl 2 together. So we don't have to go through the back loop anymore. And what that does is as I said, displays our long strands. It's easier to see on this bed of white, so I'm going to pick this up instead. The correct way so that they really open up nicely like that. And that's really all there is to it. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but it packs so much punch, it's really worth it, and it becomes really fun once you've got it down. If you've got any questions, please post them in the comment section, and I will do my best to answer them. All right, thanks.